Okay. So let's start with question number 16. Yes. Sodium, aluminium, and silicon are three elements in period 3. Each element forms an oxide. Which row has the correct properties of these oxides? Sodium oxide Na2O, aluminium oxide is Al2O3, and silicon oxide is SiO2. The first one is a basic. The second one is amphoteric, and the third one is acidic. Further, first one is giant ionic, second one is also giant ionic, and third one is giant covalent. Okay, so sodium oxide basic, aluminum oxide basic is wrong, and amphoteric wrong. So A is not our answer. Basic and non-metal oxides are acidic. Among metal oxides, aluminium oxide, beryllium oxide, zinc oxide are, amphoteric. Just give me a minute, please. Okay. So option B says giant ionic. That is correct. Giant ionic. For aluminum oxide, it is also correct. But simple molecular for silicon dioxide or silicon oxide is wrong. So B goes wrong. Now, sodium oxide have a high melting point. Yes, that's correct. And aluminum oxide is also a giant ionic. So it also have a high melting point, no low melting point. So C goes wrong. It means D option is correct. Okay. Okay. Now question number 17. 0.25 gram of anhydrous magnesium nitrate is heated strongly until it becomes complete. Okay. What is the total volume of gas produced measured under room temperature? Okay. So how will you attempt this question? Let's have a look. Just give me a minute, please. Okay. So if you will work for the equation, let me write the equation over here. Magnesium nitrate on decomposes gives you magnesium oxide, 2 moles of nitrogen dioxide, and half mole of oxygen. So from here, what we conclude that 1 mole of magnesium nitrate is actually giving us 2.5 moles of gas. Is this understandable? We have figured it out from the equation that 1 mole of magnesium nitrate is giving us 2.5 moles of gas. Is this point is clear to everyone? Yes, please. Yes, if anybody have any doubt, do ask. Okay. Now, if you work for the MR for magnesium nitrate, why we are working for the MR of magnesium nitrate? Because its mass is provided over here. Okay. So magnesium is 24.3. Can anybody please confirm? There are two oxygens which would sorry, two nitrogens. Their AR thus AR is 18. Sorry, the AR is 14 for nitrogen. So there are two, which makes it 28. Then oxygen. There are 6 oxygens. So 6 oxygens makes it 96. Can anybody add them and tell me the answer, please? 52.3. Is it 148.3? Can anybody confirm, please? One 48.3. Okay, so it means when we heat 148.3 grams of magnesium nitrate, we are going to get 2.5 times 24 decimeter cube volume of gases. Is this point is clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in the question, they have given us 0.25 grams so the volume of gas produced would be X, right? So can anybody calculate the value for X?
सर हमें 2.5 मोल्स कैसे पता चला?
One more of magnitude from the balance. Yes, Abdul.
सर मैं पूछ रहा था कि हमें 2.5 मोल से कैसे
Yes, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
जी सर.
Yes, Abdullah, did you understand how we get 2.5 moles of gases?
नहीं सर, आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही थी.
Okay. Look at the balanced equation. See, moles of nitrogen dioxide gas, right? So
Yes.
from here we got this that 2.5 moles of gases are produced from 1 mole of magnesium nitrate, right?
Oh, अच्छा.
Then we take out the mass of 1 mole of magnesium nitrate and relate it with the volume of 2.5 moles of gases. Then we
जी
use
सर,
the
वो
mass
समझ आ गया.
provided by the examiner and find the value of x. Can anybody tell me the value of x, please?
Sir, 4.2 exponent 21.
Can you do the calculation again? It could not be 4.2 exponent 21. Do it again. How you are getting exponent 21? There is not even a single figure that much high, that much bigger. So tell me in decimeter cube, Variza, because the first answer would be in dm cube. It would be 1.01 exponent. Yes, what is the value?
Sir, 0.101 आ रही है.
Okay, 0.101. That is decimeter cube. So you would multiply it with 1000 to turn into centimeter cube. So it would give you 101 centimeter cube. So D, B, and A are wrong, and our correct answer will be C. Is this clear to everyone? Now, question number 18. Astatine 80 is below iodine in group 17 of the periodic table. Which statement is most likely to be the correct? Okay, if you look in the periodic table in group 17, from in tier 2 there's a fluorine, then chlorine, then bromine, then iodine, and then astatine. Okay, so now look at the first one. Silver acetatide reacts with an excess of dilute aqueous ammonia to form a solution of a soluble complex. Will this equation be correct, or will this statement be correct or wrong? What do you think? Yes. If you recall, there is a silver chloride, then silver bromide, then silver iodide, and if there is a silver acetate. So if you recall the trend, if we use aqueous ammonia, it dissolves completely. It dissolves partially, and this one does not dissolve. That is the trend that we have studied. So in the same manner, if the silver iodide is not getting dissolved, so silver acetate also doesn't going to get dissolved. So we are not going to get a solution of a soluble complex, which means our A statement is wrong. Is this clear to everyone?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Astatine and KCl reacts to form K80 and chlorine. So if we add astatine in aqueous potassium chloride, you see chlorine is above astatine, so this reaction would not take place because astatine is less reactive. So astatine wouldn't able to displace the chlorine from its aqueous solution, chloride from its aqueous solution. So B is also wrong. Is this clear? Yes.
Yes, sir.
K80 aqueous and dilute sulfuric acid reacts to form HAT. What do you think about this statement? Is it correct or wrong? Let me recall you. When K80 and sulfuric acid react, we would get KHSO4 and HAT. But as you recall that HBr and HI both react with sulfuric acid further to give you the halogen. So in the same way, HAT would react with sulfuric acid to give you astatine along with H2S and water. It reacts more, readily or more quickly than hydrogen iodide. So this statement is also wrong. It means you are left with the D. So D is your correct answer. Is this clear to everyone? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, question number 19. What is the order of increasing melting point of the three chlorides shown? Okay. So these two are simple molecular, right? And this one is giant ionic. So it means magnesium chloride have a highest melting point. So it means B and C goes wrong. Is this point is clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we have to figure out among CCl4 and PCl5 which one have the strongest, which one have the greater melting point and which one have a lower melting point. So the atomic number of carbon is 6 and the atomic number of chlorine is 17. The atomic number of phosphorus is 15 and chlorine is 17. And as it is PCl5 and it is CCl4, so there are more protons and electrons in it. So which means it have a stronger intermolecular forces, which means that CCl4 have a lowest melting point. So here D goes wrong and we are left with statement A. So the A statement is correct. Is this clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now question number 20. From here onwards till question number 30, you will find all the organic. The skeletal formula of compound X is shown. Okay, if you look into it, it's a ketone, right? Okay, which row is correct? Molecular formula of X is C1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if you recall ketone, its general formula is CnH2nO. So it means C7H14O would be its molecular formula. So it means C and D are the wrong statements. Is this understandable?
Yes.
Now,
Sir, A होगा.
yes, very good. Because they are asking for the Fellings solution. With Fellings reagent, aldehyde would give you a positive test and ketone would not give you a positive test with the Fellings solution. So B statement is wrong and our A statement is correct. Is this clear? Yes, is this clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now question number 21. Which statement is correct?
सर ये सारे बना के खुद ही देखने पड़ेंगे.
2, 2 methyl, 1 minute, I will tell you. 2, 2 dimethyl propanoic acid is an isomer of propyl methanoate. Okay, let me help you. If you see how many carbon atoms would there in this, there is a dimethyl and propanoic acid which is 5.
Oh,
and
sorry.
here how many carbon atoms? 4.
Yes.
Because propyl refers to 3 carbon atoms. Methanoate refers to 1 carbon atom. Right? So in total, I have 4 carbon atoms in this molecule, and the first molecule have 5 carbon atoms. Is this able to everyone?
Sorry sir, पहले वाले में भी 3 नहीं होंगे.
See, longest chain have 3 carbon atoms, but dimethyl referring me that there are 2 CH3 groups, which means there are 2 more carbon.
Okay sir.
So there are 5 carbon atoms over here, and there are 4 carbon atoms over here. So if the number of carbon atoms differ, then how could they be a isomer? So you don't need to draw it. You can easily figure out from the statement. Is this clear to everyone? If anyone have any doubt, do ask.
Clear sir.
Butane to all. So 2-methyl refers to 1 carbon atom, and butanol refers to 4 carbon atom. Which means first molecule have a 5 carbon atom and the second molecule have a 6 carbon atom. So they are also not the isomers of each other. So B also goes wrong. Is this understandable to everyone?
Yes.
Now, 3-methyl and butane to on. So again, 1 carbon over here and 4 carbon over here, which makes it 5 carbons. And here there are, and this one is an aldehyde. And if you recall, I have tell you that if there are aldehyde and ketone are functional group isomers, if they are same number of carbon atoms, which means this statement is correct. So if you have a clear concept about isomerism and if you remember those points and the theory, so there is no need to draw them. Now see over here 3,3 dimethyl, which means 2 CH3 groups and butane 2 on. So C4 and C2 would give you 6 carbon atoms over here, and here there are 5 carbon atoms, so this goes wrong as well. So it means your C option is correct. Yes, is this clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, if anyone have any doubt, do ask, please. Okay. Now question number 22. Butane and butene are treated separately with cold dilute acidified manganate ions. 4 students W, X, Y, and Z make a statement about these alkenes and the diols formed from them. So in this case, the diol that is formed would have a 1 OH over here and 1 OH over here, right? And the diol which is formed over here would have 1 OH over here and 1 OH over here. Now look at the 4 statements. W, one diol contains 2 primary alcohol groups. So in either case, here this alcohol is a primary one, but this one is a secondary. And in this case, both the alcohols are secondary. So W is wrong. Is this clear to everyone?
Yes.
One diol contains a primary and a secondary alcohol group. Yes, X is correct. One diol contains 2 secondary alcohol groups. Yes, Y is also correct. Both alkenes exhibit cis and trans isomer. This can exist cis trans isomer because each double bonded carbon have a 2 different group, but this one, because it's a terminal double bond, one double bonded carbon have a 2 hydrogens on it, so no cis trans in this case. So that is wrong. Which 2 students are correct? X and Y, which means C is my correct statement. Statement A, statement B, and statement D are wrong. Is this clear to everyone?
Yes.
'23. 2-bromo-2-methyl pentane is a tertiary halogenoalkene. Okay, so pentane 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2-methyl and 2-bromo. Which organic products are formed when 2-bromo-2-methyl propane reacts with a hot concentrated ethanolic solution of sodium hydroxide? So it's a ethanolic sodium hydroxide, which means elimination would occur. And if elimination would occur, then there is a alkene formation. So there is a one possibility that alkene would form here. And the other possibility that alkene would form here. This would not show you any cis-trans isomerism, but this would show you cis-trans isomerism. So we are getting these 2 products. So 2-methyl pent 1-ene only. No, not only. This one is the 2-methyl pent 1-ene. 2-methyl pentoene and 2-methyl pentoene. Yes. If you look at these two structures, this one is this and this one is this. Both are being formed. So A, C, and D are wrong, and your B option is correct. Is this clear?
Yes.
Now, question number 24. Polypropene is an addition polymer. What are the carbon-carbon-carbon bond angles along its polymer chain? So in the polymer chain, if you recall, there is no double bond, right? All the carbon atoms are bonded in a single with a single bond, and there are all 4 single bonds of each carbon atom, right? So it means that the bond angle over here or over here would be 109.5 degrees. So they are all 109.5 degrees. That is correct. B, C, and D are wrong, and our correct answer is A. Now, question number 25. An alcohol
इसमें
has the
primary
molecular
वाला
formula of C5H12O. It has a several elements. Yes, alkaline aqueous iodine. If you recall this test, this is a iodoform test. And for iodoform, those alcohols which have a CH3 bonded to a carbon having an OH group, a hydrogen, and on the fourth side there can be an alkyl chain or hydrogen, anything. If this structure is present in the alcohol, then that alcohol would do this test positive. If the alcohol have this structure, then yellow precipitate would form. Okay, so 2,2 methyl propane 1-all. If I draw this one, 1, 2, 3. First have a OH, and there are 2 CH3. So in the it is going to consider as a long one where OH is on the carbon, right? Possibly can be these two structure. So it this test. Is this clear? Now, if I draw this one, 1, 2, 3, 4. The second carbon have a OH and second carbon have a methyl. So C, the carbon which have a OH must have a hydrogen on one side and the other side CH3. So it is fulfilling 3 conditions, that one side there is a carbon chain, one side there is a CH3, one side OH, but one side there is no hydrogen, instead there is again CH3. So B would go wrong and C is your correct answer. Let me draw C to make you understand. See, butanol, butane to also 4 carbons. On second carbon, you have a OH and 3 methyl. So on third carbon, you have a CH3. So see, this carbon which have a OH have a CH3 on one side, H on the other side, and a carbon chain on the third side. So, and the fourth side have a OH itself. So this structure is fulfilling the conditions that are needed for the alcohol to give you a positive iodoform test. Is this understandable?
सर आपने D डायरेक्ट क्यों कैंसिल कर दिया था?
Because it's on 3 OH. The OH is on third carbon, right?
Yes.
In the same way, you can cancel the first one as well because it's a 1 OH. And according to the structure, the OH must be on the second carbon except for ethanol.
सही है.
Because ethanol is only only one primary alcohol which can undergo or which can give you a iodoform test positive. Beside ethanol, no other primary alcohol can give you iodoform test positive. Okay.
Okay.
Now, question number 25. When compound X is heated, under reflex with aqueous sodium hydroxide solution, two products are formed, sodium ethanoate and hexane-1-ol. Okay. Which compound is X? So see, hexane-1-ol and sodium ethanoate. It means that C double bond O carbon is on the side where there are 2 carbons. So if I break it from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it means that you are going to get octanoate, right? And here we are getting only ethanoate with 2 carbons, so A goes wrong. If you break it from here, there are 2 carbons with a C double bond O. So this would be give you ethanoate. Now let's have a look on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it would give you heptanol, not hexanol. So B goes wrong. If you break it from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The C double bond O chain have a 6 carbon. So it means you are getting hexanoate, not ethanoate. So C goes wrong. It means that D is your correct answer. Is this clear to everyone? Yes. Yes, if anyone have any question to ask. Remember, when the chain is broken, the ester bond is broken down, and the chain which contains C double bond O would get a name of alkanoate. Okay. So if you want to assure about these, let's have a look. Here we have our 2 carbons with a C double bond O. So this part would be ethanol 6. So this part would be hexanol. That's what they told us. So now question number 27. What is the major product of Z of the following reaction? An excess of dry HBr. Okay. So if you recall, the hydrogen goes to the carbon which already have a more carbon, and the bromine goes to the carbon which have a, or the OH in that case, instead of HBr, if there is a water, so OH goes to the carbon which have already less hydrogen. So if you assume this double bond is broken down and this double bond is broken down, so among these 2 positions, this position have a more hydrogen, so the hydrogen would attach here and bromine would attach here. In the similar way, This position have a lesser hydrogen, so bromine would attach here and hydrogen would attach here. So it means that if I draw the skeletal formula of Z being a major product, so in that major product, there is a one over here and one B over here. So it goes the same way, and this makes C and D wrong. Am I audible now? Okay. So the major product that I have formed is exactly similar to the B option. So B or D option is correct. A, C, and D are wrong. Is this clear? It's the easier one. The structure compound, the structure of a compound Q is shown. How many chiral centers are present in the molecule of Q? Okay, have a look over here. First, wherever there are two bonds, cannot be a chiral carbons because they have a two hydrogens on them. So remember this thing. And wherever there is a pi bond, that also doesn't have a chiral center because of a pi bond. Now, if you look at this carbon, it have a two CH3 groups attached, so it cannot be a chiral center. In the similar way, if you look at this carbon, it have a two similar groups CH3 attached, so this can also not be a chiral carbon. In the same way, this carbon is also not be a chiral carbon. Is this understandable to everyone? Now, count the remaining. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I left this one. 4, 5, 6, 7. I already left this one. So the one where I put the crosses are not the chiral carbons and the rest of the one are the chiral carbons. So I am getting 7 chiral carbons, which makes D option correct and rest of A, B, and C are wrong. Is this clear? Okay.
Yes, sir.
These two are also not chiral. And these two are also not chiral. Now, question number 20. Okay. It's 29, sorry. Compound X has the infrared spectrum shown. What could be the identity of X? Okay. I think you guys can, check the infrared table. But if you see from 1600 to 1800, you are going a very strong peak, which is of a carbonyl carbon, C double bond O. Further, if you look at from 2000 to 3000, you are getting this broad peak, which is due to the OH of carboxylic acid. So these two things are clearly indicating that this one is a carboxylic acid. And if you see, the carboxylic acid is the A option. So your A option is correct. Okay. Is this clear? Now, question number 30. Which reaction produces an organic anion with a good yield? Okay. Ethane nitrile under reflex with dilute sodium hydroxide. So if you recall, ethane nitrile would be CH3C triple bond N. And if I heat it with sodium hydroxide, I'm going to get ethanoate ion and ammonium ion. So here I'm getting ethanoate ion, and all of the nitrile is going to convert into ethanoate ion. Okay. So it can be a correct answer, but just verify the rest of the one. Ethane nitrile under reflex with dilute hydrochloric acid. Okay. So if I hydrolyze and heat ethane nitrile with sulfuric acid, now I'm going to get ethanoic acid, not ethanoate ion. And ethanoic acid is forming in water, so it would be partially ionized. So very few ethanoate ions would form. So B goes wrong. Okay, heating ethane with sodium metal. So ethane is C2H6 with sodium metal. What would be the reaction? No reaction. Sodium metal will react with carboxylic acid and alcohol only. So C goes wrong. Now D. Heating ethanol under reflex with dilute sodium hydroxide. Ethanol is an alcohol, and alcohol doesn't react with sodium hydroxide. Alcohol just react with sodium metal. So in this case, again, no reaction would occur. So B, C, and D goes wrong, and your correct answer would be A. Is this clear to everyone? So here we have ended our section A. Now, I am not sure whether I'm able to take the class tomorrow or not, but I will try my level best to take the class tomorrow. So we will be continuing the new paper. Okay. Okay. Take care, everyone. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz, sir.
The officer.
Yes,